Hi guys, so I'm going to do a quick reading, like I had said in my post, on the death of Kim Porter, who was the ex-girlfriend, one of his ex-girlfriends of P. Diddy, otherwise known as Sean Combs. And I'm asking if her death was actually a homicide. So I've shuffled the cards, I am filming with one hand, and the background noise, you might hear my wound vac making its burping noises. So excuse me for that. Okay, so let's go without further ado. Like I said, I've shuffled the deck, and oh my. Okay, justice. Now I'm just going to say right here and right now, when I get this card, when I've read on cases in the past, this means there is a criminal or a legal matter at hand. So this first card from the get-go makes me want to say that it is a yes. Now, this is all alleged. This is entertainment with the cards. This is a tarot reading, all right? So, but regardless, we're getting the very first card of justice covering the issue. So I feel like that's a definitive yes. Again, I am sorry about the glare of the skylights. Okay. I read in pairs. Okay. This is the Nine of Wands. And here we have somebody that has been through it. This is someone that's, frankly, much of the time, again, when I read the cards and this one comes up, it can portend to abuse. It can attend to someone that has really been through a rough ordeal. And sometimes even wounds can be around the head injuries. It can also indicate something with the mind, being gaslit, so to speak, and again, mentally, verbally, physically abused often. Going through a very tough situation where you're having to defend yourself in some means. But this is, like I said, it is the nine. So it is like at the end of, almost like the end of a cycle. So this had gone on for some time. I don't know how long they were together, but they did have 3 children together, from what I understand. So that is what is crossing. It doesn't look good. Let me just put it that way. To me, it's a definite yes. These cards are sliding. They're so slippery. The basis of the card, or I'm sorry, of the reading is the world. And this is an end cycle. It is the completion. And I'm going to say completion of her life, the end of her life, referring to it. And also something that was done successfully. And that is on the basis. I'm going to put that right there. Crowning, we have the Queen of Swords. This is clarity. This is no nonsense. And this is, I feel like someone else clearing through details to find the facts. That is crowning. And there's the back. Sorry about the noise. Okay. In the past, we have the 8 of Pentacles. And this is working on something. She must have been working on something. People have said that she was working or going to be working on a book. This would be like really getting things together and to a high degree of skill, doing something over and over again. So I'm thinking, editing, it'd go right in there. It would make sense, no matter what the project was. But she was definitely working on something. Okay. And we get another 10, another end of a cycle card. So the end result, I feel like, is her on the other side. This is also the wanting to keep up appearances, potentially like the happy family. I don't think he wanted details coming out that would have made this idealism, and this card is really what I'm getting from it, to look other than just peachy, wanting things to look just peachy, not wanting insightfulness or anything like that. This is a fantasy, and this man lives on a lot of fantasy. When I've thrown cards on him, I often get the fantasy types of cards of somebody that really is living in their head. And here we have the King of Wands. It's a fiery personality, masculine energy that's can be aggressive, forthright, assertive, energetic, but it can also be hot-tempered, and these normally positive qualities can become problematic. Okay. So I believe there was a close watch on her. And when I did the reading on Cassie and I kept getting control, this guy is so controlling. And then I hear bits that, he controls his children. This is something he's known to do. He controls their money, their careers. Not a joke that this is an actual truth. So I believe it. In the environment, we have the cards of the past and children. This can also be a card that, if you're a parent, is indicative potentially not just of your own childhood, but of your children. And I'm getting in her environment the card about children and the past. And if she was writing or creating something that would expose, or that he was concerned would expose, with this Queen of Wands type of energy, just being real clear, I don't think he wanted clarity. I think he wanted the Ten of Cups, this happy families card, that we're just one big happy family. But she was going to go over the past and probably their children, and I think he wants to have control of everything that goes out. And if he could, I feel like he'd control what was in their heads too. But just from the energy of these cards feels odd. It doesn't feel like this is the positive associated with these cards to me at all. It's Okay, let's just see. I think her vision for her children and his vision for them are very different. Just a feeling from the cards. Okay. And again, this is all alleged. This is a tarot card reading. Another 10. Another end card. And again with family and inheritance. And family, not only people and generations, but money and long-term stability. This is in the hopes and fears. I think this is like wanting, I think her intention to provide her her children and their children, I feel like, to be handed down a book about her life and what she experienced, and almost like a family keepsake, an heirloom, that would be of value and worth of the family. So I think her intention was really based more upon something that would be handed down, and really more toward her own children, for her children and her grandchildren. It's a shame that she didn't live to see that. And I'm curious where her materials were, because they said that her personal computer was, from what I understand, missing. So sus. Okay, now the final card we get is the Page of Pentacles. To me, this is the book. This is the manuscript. And this is the thing that she was working on and going over. So I feel like, yes, from the first few cards, this was not your normal situation. And that her passing is based upon something she was working on, life story, completion of cycles in her life, and to provide clarity. But I sense that what he was concerned about was her sharing too much of abuse, making him or their family not look in the eyes of the public the way he wanted. Let's pull a few extra cards. Okay. Three of Swords can definitely indicate illness. It can also indicate betrayal or separation. And this definitely happened when she was found deceased. Okay. Heartbreak. Let's see what else we get with that. To do with the home. And to me, this is like, again, the family scenario, the family bond, and in relationship, in a sense, to the public. Once again, there's a sense of the public face of family. A lot of family energy here. No doubt it hurt her family and her children, and so on and so forth. Let's see what else. This is energy that builds up and is directed toward a target. It's action. And it's a risk take that you're not aware that you're taking. I think from the looks of this, she didn't realize that she was in danger. I have a tendency to think that his fears could have led to some choices that maybe necessarily weren't even what she was going to share. But I feel like we're being shown somebody that is not expecting or anticipating, and they're in a new cycle, by the way. All those tens, and then we also get the Fool. This is a new cycle, a new chapter, if you will. But more to the point of, this is a targeted thing. This is targeted energy for a purpose. And I feel like with somebody that is unaware and doesn't realize the danger that they're in, like the fool here is looking up and away, the dog is trying to say, hey, watch out, you're gonna step off the cliff here. And I feel like her activities put her in a risky position that she wasn't aware of. She endured a lot. Here we have the card of strength, and this, you know, is being pretty controlled as well. There can be verbal and actual physical. And this card indicates that there's an extreme, an issue with being controlled. I feel like a lot of verbal stuff came as well, like a lot of gaslighting, of twisting things around. I also think she may have thought she could control him. But I don't think that happened. I think she thought she could handle him. Because this is a woman handling the lion who is impulsive and has very, in this case, you know, can be very assertive. And more than assertive, it can be dominating. So when you get the Temperance card, it's saying something's out of balance that needs a variety of different things and means to create balance. And I just don't feel like she could handle him maybe the way she thought she could. Definitely something off. A few more cards. The Knight of Swords. I keep getting this Ace of Cups when I look at her death. Now, the complaints against him deal with pushing others to take substances, putting things in people's drinks, allegedly. Him and his buddies that engage in this behavior have been accused by some of the people making claims, some of the women particularly coming out making claims that they felt that they were roofied. So something fast acting, something quick. And that is that lion type of energy of just jumping in. And with this, I feel like something that she would have ingested, maybe drink, something along those lines. I'm not sure, but I keep getting it. This card keeps coming up, and the figure of almost looks like a pill, but it's not. It's supposed to be the Eucharist, the wafer, going into the chalice. But I think instead we've got something else that's very aggressively done. And it creates a change. It shifts everything. And again, the number 10 comes up again. The end of a life cycle. The end of a season in life. Or the end of one's life. So I just sensed, oh, and there's death. Okay. That really, sews it up for me. There's a course of action that causes a transformation, a really powerful end and new beginning. So we just keep getting that she was also at a point in her life where I think what she shared would have created a new time for her where she would have actually, I think, been more free of his influence, trying to shake him off from controlling her life. Because that's what this man seems to do. I have to say, I feel that with the Justice card and all these cards about ends of a cycle, and the Ace of Cups again coming up, and especially with this aggressive energy around it, I don't like it. Okay, and I don't get the Justice card unless there's typically something that is not good going on, and typically something that would actually go to court for a legal action. So also with the Justice card, it's about balance, and we get balance in here a few times. Here with the Temperance card saying something's way out of control, and people are enduring a lot that they shouldn't have to. They don't even realize the risks that they're taking. And here we have, I feel like, that ending. But bringing about that ending. Wheel of Fortune is your decisions, your actions set up, consequences, set up results. And there is an end, there is a shift. And in this case, a really final end. And having to walk away. Oh my goodness, and transition. To me, this is death. She had to walk away. She could not come back into her body. I think he made sure. And if you think that I sound like, I've already made up my mind before this, no, I hadn't, because things can happen. I've done a lot of readings off camera, and seeing this one come and the cards come out the way they have really makes me uncomfortable. So I'll leave it there, and I'll say, for my perspective on this, it was not what was claimed. Let me just put it that way. I think something else went on. And I believe that it's just too weird. The first coroner ends up passing, and he was the one that said that he found some kind of toxins or something in her system. And that's all I know about that. And then this coroner dies in a car accident, and somebody else comes in and says, oh, it's pneumonia. But there are certain things poisonings that can cause these symptoms. So I don't know that it really was that. I feel like it was caused by something else, and something that I feel like would have been ingested. Okay, I'll leave it there. If you appreciate my readings, please, it's free, just subscribe, and please put a thumbs up, because it helps my channel get seen, and I really need that help. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.